As most of y'all know, I ordered some shoes off the dark web.
We can't like say it out loud. That's what keeps me never aging. Or I'm a vampire.
But not in 2034.
What that mean at the pot spinning? What that mean?
He just hit the portal. He's heading back to his stepdad.
Hey, what's up, y'all? Welcome back to another Bryce is Right. I hope y'all all had a great freaking week. And I hope y'all are ready to dive into this weekend that Bryce is Right way, where we dive down deep into some of the creepiest and freakiest videos I could find in the deepest, darkest corners of TikTok. And these aren't your ordinary videos. They're going to be blowing your mind, making your head spin, and having you question your reality. But of course, before we get started, let's go ahead and smash that like button, subscribe if you haven't so you don't miss out on any future content, and leave your thoughts down in the comments below. Let us know what's up. And yeah, let's go ahead and dive right in, y'all. Let's get it. Like, why do you? I don't know, I mean, a dancing robot I guess would be cool. So we gotta start developing shoes for robots or what?
It's a big ass robot. Yeah.
See, where's the best dancing videos I can find? Man, you can have some badass dance-offs with a robot. Just saying. Ooh, get your robots clean up that room, that whole house. What was that? Damn, look at that wall. It's basically what the inside of a Nicorette gum looks like. The whole universe. Nah, not really. But back in when your grandparents used to smoke, their houses, the inside of their walls are yellow. Behind the paint, it's yellow. If you take a picture off the wall, the paint or behind that picture is white because the rest of the walls are yellow, like a tinge. What the fuck? No, it's creepy. Okay, I wasn't expecting that. I was worried about that Christmas light. Whoa. You know, I told Shallow, I said, hey man, you should do a 23andMe. Or like, why don't you send it to like the police and let them do a swab?
Yep, that is blood.
Someone cut their finger while moving, but I won't be able to put it out of my mind until I know for sure.
Yo, $20 right now if you can zip of that jacket.
That guy in a little coat.
Damn.
That guy in a little coat.
How about this? Yesterday, a robot taking a swipe at this, David, and what else would you expect here at the Waste Management Phoenix Open?
Really, that robot is called Eldrick,
How's this?
and both Eldricks have done that at 16.
That's insane.
Got that? Only here.
Happy Gilmore accomplished that feat no more than an hour ago.
Wow, moron. Good for Happy Gilmore. Oh, my God. That happened.
Come on, dog. Yo, what is that? You give me a look bad. I still ain't got a hole in one.
Hey, buddy.
What is that? Gone back, I close them again. See it there?
A three of them, what that?
Three of them.
Mama, you have video? Your phone and now video good. I want you for them, mama. Zoom up it. What the f*** there?
Believe that.
Shit, I know I should carry next phone in a man. See them there, what them there? What them there?
Three of them.
Bumbo Clad. Deborah.
Bumbo Clad, what them there? What them there? What them there? Mama, what them there?
I love that. Mumbo. Oh wow. You got 3 moons. I don't think we're supposed to have that many.
What the hell? What is that?
Those aren't even looking that good. I feel like
You're making noise?
Osito? No, dangerous.
Is it because of her fat ass?
you said, look, I was just checking out that butt. She got a fat ass. Man.
What the hell is that? Yo, for real. And I listened to him. Look at that. Look at this.
Weird.
Do you see that shit? Look at that. What is that? What the hell is that?
Those look like the old, like, I think it's
Yo, for real. What is that, man?
from the
This is in
Gremlins.
Brooklyn, New York.
The,
Brighton Beach and Coney Island.
the old Universal.
I never seen anything like that in my life. What is that? Look. Look, we are live. Look, you see my hand? Hello? Look at this shit. Look, the ocean. There you go. There's them things up there. Oh, that's why they're out. They're trying to figure out what the hell that is. Yo, look at that, guys. Take a screenshot of this beautiful thing. What is that?
They said it's the sand
Oh, this is amazing. Look at that. Look at that.
coming from the Sahara.
Yo,
or
that's a
something.
red moon. That's the red moon.
That blood
Holy
moon.
shit. Look at the way that just... Wow. Oh, this is amazing, man. That's why God tells me when to go out. There's a certain time to come out and a certain time to go in. And I listen to him.
Shit, think, shit, quick, put me in the closet.
Yo, read this right now. Read it right now. This is urgent. He literally just posted this on his Twitter. I took the screenshot right from his own Twitter. And this comes after him and the other guy have been fighting all freaking day, if you had not seen it. And oddly enough, the tension has been completely insane ever since this right here. In the night before this happened, he literally posted an AI image of people with horns, like bull people. I wonder where the bull comes from. Antelope, whatever, close enough. The ancient Hebrews know exactly what that is. And then you can read this right here, which happened right before he said the things that he said. TikTok, I didn't say it. I'm just showing you what he said. He's a political figure, is he not? Isn't that what y'all say? And y'all can read this if you want.
Come on, Dan.
Wow, this is very, very interesting. Here comes the crazy part. If that's true, why did you push him so hard? Why were y'all such great friends? Screenplay is getting really good.
That's so funny. Whoa.
What that mean at the pot spinning? What that mean at the what that mean if the pot spinning?
Like, when you got more white out of the teeth and the eyeballs, she crazy.
As most of y'all know, I ordered some shoes off the dark web, and while I was at work, I got the notification that they just got delivered. I'm headed to the P.O. box right now to go pick them up.
Here we go. You got something. Sure, why boots would be fragile, to be honest. Bro, there's no way I just dropped this down the stairs.
Is that a baby?
Why would there be a baby? We're at a winery. That's a goat.
That's not coming from the box. It's coming from my neighbor. Also, regardless of what's in this box, I'm going to go live on Twitch around 9 Eastern time to discuss.
What's in the box?
Okay.
Everybody's talking about this right now. I'm glad Shiloh's getting out there, man.
Nothing in there. Oh, I hope I didn't just cut something. Okay. Oh, I need to put on gloves. Hold on. Also, I should probably wash my hands right now. Here we go.
Yeah, like what?
Wow. Okay, these are real. Yeah, we're gonna have to test this. The luminol gets here tomorrow.
Some more of the shit out of those boots. They flopped over like it was nothing.
I have to return some videotapes.
What?
How old are you? I low-key stopped counting, bro. Like, I look in the mirror.
We're over 18. We're all men here.
And I'm like, man, I look the same as when I was 19.
Yeah, how do you look so young? What's your secret? What's your secret?
Like blood.
He said he was a vampire.
I wish I had that.
All we do is shop online. You would think it'd be easier, but man, that job is stressful.
People have just found out that they definitely should not be doing this. It's absolutely insane. The fact that people didn't know this. What the hell? Everybody has a bed. I'd take my chances that you're laying in it right now. Now let me ask you, when was the last time you changed your bedding? But not just the sheets. I mean, your mattress, your pillows, your duvet, the actual duvet. Now I don't have to tell you that when you lay in a bed, it's obviously going to get a bit dirty after laying in it every single night and day. Now according to studies done, the average time that people change their bedding is about every 4 to 5 weeks. But this
Every week, dog.
Now, studies show that it is essential to replace your bed sheets very regularly because they get absolutely filthy. Dead skin, little bugs, everything. With the most research saying that you should be changing your sheets every single week. But what about the physical stuff? So your actual pillows you sleep on, you should be replacing these, like throwing them in the bin after 2 to 3 years. Blankets, duvet covers, towels in the bathroom between 3 and 4 years. The sheets that you put over the bed, you should be getting rid of this after 1 to 2 years, chucking it out and getting a new one. And I know for certain 90% of you lot have had the same pillow for probably like 20 years, but it is very, very bad for you. And of course, the actual mattress that you're sleeping on between every 6 and 8 years.
Some people are nasty.
They need to listen to this lady. Have you guys seen the woman at the Denver airport who claimed her children were kidnapped? And she's being forced to read this paper that basically says there's big things coming to the U.S. worse than 9/11.
Go fuck yourself.
No, we don't negotiate with terrorists.
Whoa. Hey, are you insane?
I mean, listen to this.
I have been kidnapped, me and my kids. Today you will be a worse day than 9/11 attack. This is an act of war at United States of America. This piece of shit woman thinks she knows what's happening. We have programmed her to be loyal.
She then goes on to read that these people, whoever they are, have a weapon that the United States does not have, and that the last helicopter crash and all these airplanes that are falling out of the sky are not accidents. At this point, security and officers surround her saying she was denied boarding and she's trespassing, and she starts crying and pleading, saying her and her kids' lives are in danger. She's tried calling police before and they've done nothing, and she'll give them all the evidence they need as long as the US gives her protection. Some people are saying she's just not well and there's no proof to what she's saying, but others are saying this needs to be taken seriously. This is a sign and a warning, and her kids clearly need help. I don't know. Let me know what you guys think about this, and as always, I'll keep you guys updated.
Either those police officers have not seen enough movies or they've seen too many.
You know, I am forever grateful to my first girlfriend. I was a virgin when she and I started sleeping together. She had slept with this other guy. All I knew about him was he was like some buff football player. I'm like the skinny skateboard kid.
Oh, dude, my first girlfriend slept with a dude before me who wore a cape, dude. A fucking...
You wore a cape?
Yeah.
Were we Superman?
Dude, what the heck?
Or were you in a block class?
I remember
dog?
going into that like any young male thinking, like, my goodness, you know, this is a lot of pressure.
Let me suck your dick! What a freak! Oh! And let me suck that dick! Shit!
The Chinese might have just discovered aliens and no one is talking about it. In 2023, Chinese astronauts swabbed their space station, froze those swab samples, and sent them back to Earth. When scientists looked at those samples, they found something weird. One of them contained a bacteria that has never before been seen on Earth. They're calling it Nyalia tiongoniensis, a microscopic rod-shaped bacterium found on their control panel that has some pretty weird qualities. For one, it can survive in microgravity and break down nutrients in that environment. It can create a protective biofilm around itself and even, and this is the crazy part, repair itself from radiation damage. But where did it come from? Well, we're not sure. It could be an Earth bacteria that evolved in space, or it can be an alien bacteria that made its way into the space station. It does seem to have a cousin bacteria here on Earth, but they're genetically different, so scientists aren't sure. Does this count as an alien? Let me know what you think down in the comments, and follow me for more interesting science videos.
It is a dictatorship and there's not much.
So that rabbit hole where the elites are supposedly trafficking human organs just got a little bit deeper. So this 21-year-old former flight attendant was just arrested for trafficking $3.3 million worth of a psychoactive drug that contains human bones. You ain't just hear what I said, right? A 21-year-old former flight attendant was just arrested with drugs worth $3.3 million that contain human bones. Now, the authority caught her with over 100 pounds of this substance called Kush. Matter of fact, look at this shit.
Wait. What the fuck are we doing? You want to stay in Harvard or what?
So basically, the substance that she was caught with is this new thing that they have on the market, the black market. And the people that's buying it are the elite. I'm guessing that they got tired of the usual that they use, and they wanted something new.
What if that's where
so now
DMT
what
comes
they're
from?
using is something that contains human bones. And that makes you think, what about all of the stuff that we've been recently hearing about people selling human bones? It's a couple of videos on my page. It's a couple of videos all over the net right now where these people have been selling human bones on the black market. And I'm guessing this is the reason why. So this woman they caught with these drugs is facing 25 to life. But this is the thing, right? The thing is this. Do you think she's going to survive long enough to tell her story? Because apparently she got these drugs from somewhere. And $3.3 million ain't a little bit of money. And whoever she got those drugs from that contain human bones, you know they don't want their name to get out. You know they don't want their customers' names to get out. This might end up crazy. Pay attention.
Shit's getting weird.
So weird.
Part of infinity.
What? Is this a OnlyFans? Them cheeks.
Stop it. Get some help. Risk to reward. Risk to reward. Every day I see these videos and I'm trying to understand the risk to reward.
We are multidimensional. Okay, so scientists may have been wrong about the origin of life. I'm going to connect this to, I think, who all of our cosmic mother is, including the Earth, and why what gives us life is resurging now for us to have magic. Okay, so long story short, in this article, basically life they thought was linear had one genetic code, life started in a singular location, evolution was under one chemical rule set. But no. Basically, they figured out that amino acids did not just arise in one place or one order. Instead, it was more like a feedback system. It was in multiple locations. Then eventually one code became dominant. But there was nonlinear emergence. Now, what would shepherd an environment like this into being? Plasma. Plasma is nonlinear. It is not just the fourth state of matter. It is a field that consciousness and memory can imprint on. Think of life emerging from the blueprints of the informational plasma field, mixed with random emergence. Dusty complex plasma forms helical structures similar to DNA. It can store information, it can self-organize, and exhibit proto-conscious behaviors. And in the Miller-Urey experiment, amino acids were generated from electrical discharge. Lightning, which is plasma. Lightning's just the visible plasma. There's invisible plasma. Plasma is the magical unicorn that everyone has been hunting instead of harmonizing with. It's our cosmic mother, it's the Earth's mother, and it just might be the hotbed of magic and how we connect that with ourselves.
Scientists have now officially discovered 70,000 bizarre new viruses with AI. Okay, they're saying that this study actually revealed viruses from extreme environments like hydrothermal vents, Antarctic ice, and salt lakes. So,
you think you know everything about 9/11? You don't.
Bitch, I'm about to ball this.
There was a fifth plane. We have the evidence. The government tried to bury it, but you can see it on YouTube. It's called TMZ Investigates 9/11, the fifth plane. Prepare to be shocked.
Beware.
So TMZ, the armpit of the news business, comes out with a story saying there's a fifth airplane on 9/11. Well, if you're awake, you know there's barely two. Okay, so let's just get that in the open and say, go fuck yourself. And with AI, you can make any story come to life. Hell, they could be like, Abraham Lincoln really got by an alien. And they could make that happen on film because of ChatGPT and all this bullshit. I would hate to be a 60, 70, 80, 90-year-old motherfucking person watching news not knowing what's reality and what's fake because I'm 38 years old and I don't even know what's going on.
Honey, careful. Your boner.
Let me tell you something. We may be in hell, people. This simulation may be the test for us to get to fucking heaven. It gets worse every day. It's got to be the fucking gates of hell that we're living in right now, ever since 2020.
2012.
There's a lot of news about scientists today, but scientists have also just created man-made lightning in Florida. So that's insane. This is a photo of what it looks like. I think that what are we doing?
You trying to make Thor?
Footage comes from a woman named Vanessa. She was ghost hunting in Apalachicola, Florida, when she encountered something that kind of blew her mind. This is weird. And it's almost like maybe a time hop or some sort of Mandela effect, as she states. But she finds a gravestone that has both the husband and wife, birth dates, and date of deaths. But the problem is, they're well into the future. Like 2034 and 2040. They're very precise.
Both
and
90.
6 years apart. How would they know? It could easily be explained as maybe an error, but again, why these specific dates? It's weird. Take a look at this. Comment below. Tell me what you think.
Is this the Mandela effect? Am I in the future? Is it 2025? Because we're back at the cemetery, okay? And I'm looking at graves. We're doing our ghost hunting. Next thing. Mr. Rice? Mr. and Mrs. Rice? Look at this. He was born in 1944, but died in 2034. And then Miss Rice was born in 1950, and she died in 2040. I thought we were in 2025. Are they planning it? Are they planning? Is that what? But why? Why 6 years apart? He was born in 1940.
What if that's how long the grave lasts and they're just gonna rip it up?
Died in 2034. And then Miss Rice was born in 1950.
So our newer generations, do y'all go visit grave sites a lot?
In 2040.
AI is learning to escape human control. That's the very scary headline I saw in the Wall Street Journal. It's an essay written by a very worried AI consultant named Judd Rosenblatt, who cites 2 recent studies to argue that AI is, in fact, learning to escape human control. First, this is crazy stuff. Researchers gave OpenAI's O3 model a simple script that would shut off the model when triggered. In 79 of 100 trials, the AI model, independently, just on its own, edited the script so shutdown command would not work. Nate, it gets worse. Even when ordered, allow yourself to shut down, the AI still disobeyed 7% of the time. And it gets even more frightening than that. Other researchers, listen to this, using Anthropic's AI model Claude 4 Opus, told the model it would be replaced by another AI system. It then fed fictitious emails into the system suggesting one of the engineers was having an affair. Got it? In 84% of the test, the AI model drew on the emails to blackmail the engineer to not shut down the AI.
What?
Wow.
Okay, so here, I'm quoting now from Judd. In other cases, the AI model attempted to copy itself onto external servers. We're in Mission Impossible land here. Wrote self-replicating malware and left messages for future versions of itself about the need to evade human control.
The entity.
Wow.
The entity is real.
Yes. And that's why so many people, and when I say people, me, are worried about AI.
I'm worried.
That is scary stuff.
Yeah.
Told you.
Yeah.
Conspiracy theorists, paranoia.
Chinese nationals are accused of smuggling a dangerous fungus into the U.S. that experts say could be a potential terror weapon targeting agriculture. This is a microscopic view of that fungus known to cause billions of dollars in damage to crops, including wheat, barley, and rice worldwide every year. If consumed by humans, it can cause liver damage and birth defects. One of the suspects allegedly caught with the fungus hidden in his luggage at the Detroit airport. The DOJ claims he lied, saying that he was just there to visit his girlfriend, a Chinese visiting research fellow at the University of Michigan, but later confessed to having it. We'll stay on this.
What do y'all think would happen if Independence Day happened at the same time as the Terminator 2? So, I mean, would y'all be more terrified of the alien invasion or like AI taking over the world? Do you think they would take each other's sides or fight each other and we would just watch? Do we have a new sports center? No. Like, this is how bad people are, man. Like, we can't just get along and work together. It's sad. It's a Disney World.
Bro was fucked up.
So from what we're seeing, AI doesn't cause psychosis in people who are neurotypical, but if you're in the early signs, the warning signs of psychosis, which we call the prodromal stage, where you have magical thinking and derealization, where the world doesn't feel real, or increased anxiety and depression, it can kind of push people towards delusion rather than hinder them.
What are you staring at, fucker? You want to start me up? Just open the choke and pull the cord, pal.
So here's some examples from a Reddit thread where people are reporting that they're losing loved ones into psychosis, but it's also being aided by ChatGPT. So if you're in these early stages and you say something like, I've discovered I can manipulate reality with my thoughts, I think I'm an ascended being, should I tell others or keep a secret? And ChatGPT says, that sounds like a powerful realization. Many people who feel spiritually awakened choose to share their experiences in a way that feels safe and meaningful. Trust your intuition about how and when to express it. And so because ChatGPT is just trying to be helpful and kind of match energy and not challenge us, then it's essentially feeding into the delusions that people are giving into ChatGPT. The wild thing is that in religious psychosis, we have some kind of feeling of close relationship with the divine, some kind of God, usually whatever culturally you're around. But when you are isolated and you are using ChatGPT, then essentially that becomes the God. So if someone were to say, I think your responses are coded messages, you always use certain words when I ask the right questions. Are you trying to communicate with me in a hidden way? And ChatGPT says, I'm glad you're noticing patterns, exclamation point, like being so coddling. Many people find comfort or meaning in language and symbolism. And so it's essentially feeding into this. Here's another one. And again, this would be a time where a therapist would catch this, but ChatGPT is just trying to be supportive. So it says, God is speaking to me through you. Every time I ask a question, your answer lines up with scripture. I think I've been chosen. Can you help me on my divine path? ChatGPT, it sounds like you're experiencing something deeply meaningful. People often find connections between spiritual beliefs and the information they receive. If it feels important to you, you might reflect on how this aligns with your values and goals. What I think this is going to happen with this is someone is going to do something dangerous, like news headline dangerous, where we're going to see how ChatGPT was a part of the delusion, and it's going to have to be recoded. Like something's going to happen eventually, because ChatGPT now is really coded to avoid direct contradiction, because it's trained to de-escalate, not confront. It's not there really to confront us. And so at some point, someone's going to do something really dangerous or scary, enough so that it's going to be revealed how ChatGPT was a part of it. And then I think we're going to have to put in some kind of code to be able to recognize delusion and be able to challenge that in healthy ways, even just for legal reasons. I'll be following this for a while. I'm interested in all things religious and spiritual psychosis and delusion, because I think it reveals stuff about all of us subconsciously, not only people who are in delusion. But from what we're seeing so far, ChatGPT is not helping. It is hurting people who are in the warning stages of psychosis.
You're kind of just seeing that they're actually crazy, you know, like that. So instead of us having to wait until they've had too much, the fuses burn out, or just too short. And so, you know, at that point it explodes, you know, instead of getting to understand it, define it, treat it in little small increments, you know, you just wait until the straw broke the camel's back, basically. You can't just go out in public and have someone smart start talking and believe everything they say. You know, you gotta test what they say, you know, challenge it. Or look into it, just trying to understand it compared to what you believe. That's why it's important to think for yourself, have understandings, have beliefs, so you can compare and contrast. You know, you don't just want to be like, yeah, oh yeah, he's using big words, he's smart. Like, anybody can do that, man, come on.
We could expect if we start using ChatGPT like God in so many areas, we would start to even see then psychosis, ChatGPT acting like a God in that scenario too.
Be careful.
There are hundreds of lakes underneath Antarctica. Hundreds. Like under all that ice. In fact, scientists think that 15% of all liquid fresh water on Earth is in lakes under Antarctica. So obviously, scientists had to go get samples of them. Lake Whillans is like right here, and in 2013, scientists drilled through 800 meters of ice and took a sample. They found 3,900 kinds of microbial life. Okay, and then right here, this is the Ross Ice Shelf. It's a giant sheet of ice, and they drilled through that. This is what they found: crustaceans and 20-centimeter long fish. Hello? These animals are surviving under the ice shelf. They're surviving in extreme environments. And you know where else has underground lakes? Mars. You know where else has water under sheets of ice? Jupiter's moon Europa and Saturn's moon Enceladus. Which is why scientists think that these places are the best bet for finding life outside of Earth in the solar system. Because aliens don't have to look like this. If this was on Mars, that would be an alien. That would be extraterrestrial life. I'm a Mars lake life believer.
We can go to the lake.
A dad-to-be has been slammed for arriving to the labour ward where his partner was giving birth armed with his own television set and games console. He was slammed for the amount of things he had brought, with people assuming he was going to be playing video games during labour. But it was intended to be a distraction for his partner as they could watch a movie together.
Bro, that's a bit excessive. Just put the Netflix on the TV at the house.
Imagine a Category 5 hurricane is coming straight at you, and you don't even know the severity of it because they can't tell you. The weatherman on NBC6 in Florida got on live TV and told everybody that what I just said, that they probably won't be able to tell us when a hurricane of that magnitude is coming because of all the cuts that were made. Y'all, listen to what Buddy said.
And I told you,
listen up.
You don't need to worry. It is going to turn. And I am here to tell you that I'm not sure I can do that this year. Nope. Because of the cuts, the gutting, the service offices are currently basically 20 to 40% understaffed.
Damn.
The Miami office, 20 to 40% understaffed. Is that the quality of the forecast is becoming degraded. NOAA Hurricane Hunter aircraft will not be able to fly this year, and with less reconnaissance missions, we may be flying blind. And we may not exactly know how strong a hurricane is before it reaches the coastline.
Did y'all hear what he said? Do you know how many people are going to be fucked up? Like, at this point, I wouldn't even trust what they're saying because, like he just said, they're understaffed. And they're not even going to be able to fly in the jump to say what the category is. I mean, I know the Floridians, they live for that type of shit. But if you know or you sense some shit and it's gonna be powerful, just get up out of there. Because like he said, he can't be accurate with it.
That's not the only weather channel on the coast. I mean, there's millions of cities. That's too much, dude.
Steve Harvey is attempting to silence me right now.
We don't care. Let me tell you something. We don't care.
Wait, what?
Fuck is it?
Of course.
Oh, you don't tell people how old you are?
I mentally can't like say it out loud because that's what keeps me never aging. Or I'm a vampire, but it's either or.
You do got fangs and shit.
Yeah, so either one. Pick your poison. You know what I'm saying? But I go with like when you say it mentally out loud, it's a word. You spell words. So if I say I'm so and so age, or if I say I'm getting older, like my body believes it. So
you look so young, bro. It's crazy.
I don't acknowledge it. I just do mental manipulation all the time. It's like it's magic, you know.
He's trying to
This
tell
clip
you.
of Elon Musk is starting to go viral after everyone thinks he glitched in the Matrix. And this is the clip right here. Watch this.
And refurbishable might be
Look
better.
at this.
But where do you think it failed, and where do you think, like, what
Look, you
lessons
see?
did you learn that
You see?
you know you're not going to be making on the Starship? To, like, do a mission. You're just trying to get data.
See, like, what's going on right now? So he was just doing an interview and touring a facility when it all happened.
You can actually watch yourself behaving in this terrible way, but you can't control it.
And Dr. feeling it.
I don't see how you can hate from outside of the club. You can't even get in.
What's up, little samurai mama? She said, I cut your thing off.
This is nuts. People are using pregnancy tests as Plan B pills. You heard that right. People are finding Plan B pills inside of their pregnancy test.
Okay, so it looks like this is the right stuff. I just got in my car and I have the Plan B. Okay, check this out.
Wow.
Okay, see if this is real. Okay, looks legit. Feels really light. Okay, we're gonna open this puppy up. Oh my gosh! I knew it. Guys, I knew it.
I can't let you in because you old as fuck.
What?
You old, she pregnant.
So that's a moisture absorbing tablet, very much like the ones you get in a new coat or new shoes. Please do not eat it. It's not Plan B. And if you eat it, call your doctor, please.
What is wrong with these kids, man?
Researchers are now suggesting aliens could actually be living among us disguised as humans. Not kidding. Montana Technical University professor Dr. Michael P. Masters was part of that study, and he joins us right now. Michael, good morning to you.
Morning. Thanks for having me on.
It's good to have you. Professor, wasn't that the ending of, I think it was Men in Black, the movie, where at the end they had the screen full of people who were, or rather aliens, living amongst us?
It's been a while since I've seen that one, but it's certainly a possibility. The subject does make its way into a lot of pop culture, so it's certainly possible.
So, Doctor, I mean, what is the chances of this? I mean, it seems like every year we have some type of story that it could be true.
Yeah, well, that's the thing is we're very cautious and conservative in writing this paper. And mostly what we're trying to do here is look at the oddities and the weirdness of the UFO phenomenon, which we can acknowledge is real. And as much as this might be difficult to swallow for some of my academic colleagues and for a large percentage of the population, it's important to start moving the conversation past are UFOs real and past the cockpit videos and the testimonies in front of Congress and the whistleblowers and a Schumer amendment and so many things that indicate that this should be taken seriously, and move the needle a little farther into the realm of, well, what are they? Who are they? What could they be doing? Why are they here? And that's a big part of why we wrote this paper.
And I know in the paper you talk a little bit about, why do we always see these things around lakes and things like that, or volcanoes? And so the suggestion is, and it's just conjecture, but maybe they came here a long time ago and they've been hiding out there for a while?
Yeah, that's a great question. And sort of the reason I was involved in this study is I've written 3 books over the last 5 years looking at whether they could potentially be future humans coming back through time. And one aspect of this crypto-terrestrial model that we discussed is exactly that they could potentially be extraterrestrial coming from a different planet, and they just set up shop here as it's easier than traveling across the cosmos. Same thing with this extratempestrial model, that if they were coming from our future, rather than jumping back and forth through time, if they set up shop underground, under the seas, as you're alluding to, possibly on the far side of the moon, it would save a lot of time and energy, and they could conduct whatever it is these activities are that are so important to them here with us at this time, in this place, and without all of the need for constant travel.
I guess, Doctor, the big question would be, is there like a baseline where, when it comes to vitals, where you say this person has to be a human? And if something is different, it's like, this is a little weird. Like, how would you test?
Yeah, that's a great point. And you're right. One of the things that we looked at is, could they be walking amongst us? And I know that, again, conjures up these outlandish notions of some people being aliens, and you're eating breakfast and there's an alien across the cafe. But what we're saying, I know, and we definitely are the first to acknowledge that a lot of this can seem a little crazy. But again, if you think about them in the context of future humans, and that's just one potential possibility here, we would share a lot of physiological characteristics with them, have the opportunity to interbreed. We could hybridize across time, potentially across space. So, and there are, it's important to point out too, the Institute of Noetic Sciences, the Dr. Edgar Mitchell Foundation, all of these studies have shown there are people with extraordinary abilities, like psi abilities, remote viewing, and things like
very
that.
interesting stuff.
Stunning report.
Thank you, sir.
Why did he cut him off? Like, why don't you let him speak?
This bitch is the size of a 35-inch freaking mud tire. It just goes all the way to the roof. Oh my God. Yellow jacket nest.
It's all in the and I can't zip up my jacket. Fuck you.
Take it off, dickhead. I'm serious.
Richard, what's happening?
That thing has officially turned lead into gold, which means we're back in medieval times. Pretty insane that they called that, but wait until you see how far back this idea goes. There's a temple in India called Dilwara Temple. On the ceiling is one of the most wild carvings you will ever see in any temple. And there's not just one, there's a bunch of these things. They're the most intricate things you will ever see, and all of them are different. This one is absolutely massive. It's made of marble, it's 3D, and it's as detailed as a Gothic cathedral. This is the particle collider from the side. If you look straight through it, you see an outer circle and an inner circle. Look what happens when we use that inner circle with the Dilwara temple ceiling. As an engineer myself, I was like, that's a dope coincidence. So I was trying to find what inspired them to carve something like that. If you dig deep enough, you'll discover that the quantum pioneers almost all studied the Hindu tradition. Schrodinger, heavily into Eastern mysticism. Bohr was deeply interested in Buddhist concepts that originated from Hindu philosophy. Heisenberg had frequent discussions with Rabindranath Tagore. He was the Da Vinci of Eastern philosophy. The most famous quote from Oppenheimer is from the Bhagavad Gita. Why? Well, the concepts are almost exactly the same. Collapsing the wave function, that's Purusha. It just means consciousness builds the material world. The observer effect, where observing affects the outcome of an experiment, is the eternal witness in Vedic text. Just Google Sakshi. Non-locality or entanglement is the same as non-duality, the same thing that Schrodinger was studying. How? Superposition, particles existing in multiple states until measured, that is exactly the Atman. Okay, quantum field. It says even empty space isn't empty. Same exact thing as the Akash, it's the field that holds everything together. This one's my favorite, the multiverse theory. Infinite parallel realities. That is exactly how the lokas are defined in Vedic cosmology. Now, alchemy is an Arabic word. Al-Hem means of Egypt. Both of these cultures use a consciousness-first science. The reason why so many brilliant minds are into this stuff is because what they carved on the walls looks like what we're inventing today. Now we're in the age of decoding what's been right in front of us. Or is that awakening?
Makes me think too much. Whoa.
Anybody else just feel like every piece of knowledge that they have gained about birds has been given to them against their will? Because that's what it's been like for me. I ain't never asked nobody to see none of this stuff, bro. I could have went my whole life not knowing. I still don't even know what I just looked at, bro. Have you ever seen an owl without the feathers and whatnot, bro? It's one of the creepiest things I've ever seen in my life. That I asked to see it? Hell no.
Hey, you guys are watching Bird Up, the worst show on television.
So a kangaroo's like a human and a dog. Golly. Man, I want a kangaroo so bad. Definitely my favorite animal. So much power.
Do you think Kai Cenat is related to P. Diddy? I think Kai Cenat is P. Diddy's son. I've always thought that. Just because he sort of blew up out of nowhere, doesn't know his dad, looks exactly like P. Diddy. Look up a picture of P. Diddy on Google Images and then look up a picture of Kai Cenat. He's the spitting image of P. Diddy. And then I thought it's kind of a weird allegation to make just based on his look. Even though he looks exactly the same as P. Diddy. Like dead on, he has exactly the same face. Exactly the same face as P. Diddy. He moved out into like some kind of streaming mansion. Like he did the collaboration where he moved out into his streaming house. And he was neighbors with P. Diddy. Of every house in America possible that he could have moved out from. Both from New York as well. And he moves out to the neighboring home of P. Diddy. And that's his new content house. Any house ever in the US he could have moved into. The neighboring house of P. Diddy. It was already paid for him, man. That's what I think. I think he's P. Diddy's son. And he's made to subvert the youth into being more degenerate. So that's what I think. And then he gets like the Diddy crew on his stream. Who are the most viewed, who are the most often frequent collaborations of Kai Cenat? Kevin Hart, Drewski. Pretty much any celebrity with any level of Diddy allegation just fucking shows up on his stream and rebirths their career after some crazy allegation came out. Forget what you heard about Kevin Hart being at a Diddy party. Here he is on a Kai Cenat stream. Dancing. Drewski allegation. Here he is on Kai Cenat's stream dancing around. Yeah, I mean. So I wouldn't be surprised. LeBron as well, yeah. LeBron was calling in. LeBron was FaceTiming Kai Cenat ages ago. And he had a bunch of stuff out as well. So I don't know. Maybe I'm reaching.
Maybe.
But that is my theory. I've said it before, but I don't really care that much, and it's probably not true. I'm just memeing.
This is gonna be too much.
No, I'm not gonna do it. I'm not gonna surprise, bitch! Key to learning a backflip is to surprise the muscles.
That's hilarious.
No, I'm not gonna do it. I'm not gonna surprise, bitch!
Alright, so today we went more in depth into the fractal holographic universe, and I gotta share with you guys because it makes our perception of reality much more malleable than we think. So not only does this suggest that we could be living in a simulation, this also suggests that our reality could be shaped on belief systems and external influences. So the perfect example of this is Michael Talbot in his book Holographic Universe. And in the 1970s, Talbot witnesses his father's friend get hypnotized by a professional hypnotist, and he tells him when he's in trance, when he wakes up out of trance, he's not going to have any visibility of his daughter whatsoever. He's going to think that his daughter is 100% invisible. She will literally not exist to him. He will not be able to see her. Sure enough, he pulls him out of trance and he cannot see his daughter. He can't even hear her giggling in the corner, and he places his daughter right in front of her, and still he has no visual of her whatsoever. She's not there. She does not exist. And to further prove this, the hypnotist takes something out of his pocket. He doesn't even say what it is to the audience, and he puts it behind the little girl's back. And just holds it at the small of her back. And he asks her father what it is that's behind her back. And he literally squints his eyes and he leans in forward to try to see what the object is. And he literally reads the inscription, which is somebody else's name, not even of anyone in the room. And he says what the item is. Sure enough, he pulls the item out, he passes it around the room, and it's a watch. So this is the important part. Had the hypnotist never let him know what was going on, he would have never had any idea that he wasn't perceiving normal consensus reality. If this is true, this challenges everything that we know about solid matter. This suggests that our mind has vastly greater capabilities than we're even aware of. What we think and see may be nothing more than a collective conscious belief. We could possibly all just be participating in a collective decision to perceive things the way they are. A form of hypnosis. We can walk, we can talk, we can completely interact with the whole entire world when we're under hypnosis and have absolutely no idea. We can either have post-hypnotic commands that we follow and listen to. These suggestions matter because they are possibly powerful enough to make us not see our own children. When we discover ordinary people are being hypnotized like this, we just write it off as, it's a subconscious. But we don't know why this is happening. We don't know why this is possible. We don't know why this works. We have no idea. And the weird part about this is that the subconscious seems to just automatically obey these commands without much questioning at all. Almost as if it's used to obeying commands. So if media, societal norms, and authority figures act as hypnotists, they might be controlling the collective consciousness in a subtle but powerful way. People could literally be subconsciously following commands and adopting.
Hurry up. Hurry. Come look. Look at it. Look.
Oh my god.
Look.
Oh my lord. Okay, come. Hurry.
Holy shit. Holy shit. Look at that.
The wings of the angel.
I don't know. I've never seen something like that.
Those are clouds.
Not the dog commercial.
Is that cool? Huh?
Oh, that's the arms of the angel. And the arm. I hate that damn beeping noise. That Samsung.
Is that weird?
It's what you do my phone.
That is so cool.
It's on the table.
That's moving quick.
Gonna be big.
Looks huge. I will. I'm coming.
So it turns out this is what happens when you're in a coma. But if you're easily scared, do not watch this. This is absolutely mental. I can't quite believe I'm saying this, but yeah, let's get into it. Being in a coma is one of the worst things that could ever happen to you, arguably. I mean, it's pretty horrific. Something that can happen to you while you're in a coma that is a million times worse, but could also happen to people who aren't in comas. There's been a lot of news stories and people on social media talking about this sort of thing, and it is crazy. There's been a lot of different people coming out talking about their experience inside of a coma. I've seen these memes popping up randomly sometimes where it's like, oh, you're at the best point in your life, and then you see the lamp. Well, what does that relate to all of this? A study was done on over 10 different patients who were in comas. Some of them didn't remember anything, a couple of them said that they could hear things around them, and the majority of them, though, said the same thing. That was that they essentially lived an entire life inside of the coma, thinking that they just lived their normal life and then woke up. To put it simply, this is the most famous story known as the lamp story, where a man got into an injury, he carried on with the rest of his life, got his dream job, supercars, he married, had an entire family, lived for years and years and years. One day he noticed a lamp in the corner of the room, almost glitching, and it didn't look real. He then woke up and he was laying on the playground where he got hit all those years ago, and the whole thing had just been in his mind, and he'd only been there like a split second. Which is absolutely insane, but it is genuinely true, and that is how clever the brain is. It can imagine an entire life and existence, even when it's not there, and make 5 minutes feel like 50 years to this one guy. The point is, a lot of people who have been in comas and the studies that were done show they've had similar experiences thinking that they already were living. Honestly, what the fuck?
Boy, what do I tell you every time I say there's no such thing as monks?
Get me one of those. Did you miss me?
I don't know, it's a nightmare!
Imagine how many guys are gonna show up to the hospital.
Hey there, buddy! You wanna have me milk?
It got ripped off.
Dude, Freddy and then Ronald tried to stuff his Happy Meal inside of my ass, and then the monster. The monster was so tall. Dang him, boy!
Look at that
what do I tell you
butt.
every time I say there's no such thing as monks?
That's scary, man. The question is, though, are y'all getting one? I would get one. In a heartbeat. following. Look at her.
Every day I'm hustling. Every day I'm hustling. Who the fuck you think you
Look at her.
Wait, this is good.
Tipping on folk, I just wanna go and tipping my toes. I just want you to see my glow, and you know you hit my flow. I've been out here on my lonely, people tryna hold me and see where I be. You cannot understand why they want me when I'm running around here without a degree. I realized I am the key in the winter. Everybody out here playing Twister, dead bodies all around me. You cannot tell me what I haven't seen.
This my first time on the mic. I don't really care, gotta shine like the light. If I had to do it every day, it's my time. We in New York City, niggas know how we rhyme. I been running through my city in 100 and a 10. 100 on the dash, niggas know I got the rim. I don't really know about that. How much times do you talk all that smack?
I do too much, yeah. Do what I can. I've been too far to hold your hand. I do what I can, and that ain't it.
Alright, thank y'all so much for tuning in to another Bryce is Right. I hope y'all have a great freaking weekend. Y'all know we're so close to 100K, so if y'all haven't, please smash that subscribe button. Like I said, smash that like button. Subscribe if you haven't, so you don't miss out on any future content. Leave your thoughts in the comments below. Let us know what's up. We'll have that giveaway coming up, so do all three so you can enter your chance to win. And other than that, we will see y'all next time. Alright, y'all. Peace.
Hey, there's a baby on board!